Good day, everybody. Before we get into the content, I'd like to remind everybody that although I am a mechanic, I am not your mechanic. Please see your technician for professional advice. Everything in this video is for educational purposes only. I am not responsible for any risks you take, damage to your vehicle, improvement to your sex life. With that being said, stay safe and enjoy the content. So I'm out here at the junkyard again, and everybody has their own reasons for wanting to access a trunk that will not open, where there's no key access, there's no power, the battery's completely drained. Whether you're like me and you stay at the junkyard, or you don't have a battery at home for whatever reason. For me anyways, I need to access this light. And I do not, and I mean I do not want to do what the last person did, which is tear the seat apart and climb in there. And maybe you don't want to do this to your car at home. So I am going to show you a trick on how to get this trunk to open when there's no power going through the car. These are all the tools that I use to get this job done. This is a 12-volt battery from one of my power tools. It does also work with a 20 volt. I just don't suggest you hold the wires too long. I'll get to that in a second. Additionally, most junkyards offer batteries for sale at the very front. Just grab one of those, put them in your cart, and bring it next to the vehicle you want to open. So first I'm going to demonstrate the trick actually working, and then I'll show you the method of how I figured out what wires to use. Okay, so I'm going to show you live, unedited, so you can see there's no YouTube trickery or nothing like that, and you can see that it actually does work. So here I'm going to demonstrate the trunk wide open, and I'm going to slam it shut. As you can see, I mean, I cannot open this thing to save my life. So I'm going to come over here where I set up my trick, and again, stay tuned to the video. I'll show you how I set all this up. And you can see I have my little 12 volt, and I just heard a huge clunk. So I come back over to my trunk, and voila, I have access to the inside of the trunk, and I did not have to climb in, get dirty, none of that stuff. And now I can remove all this stuff and get my light. Anyways, I'm not going to show that in the video. That's for me. Let me show you guys how I set this up. I'll get the easy one out of the way. You don't have to completely cut the harness, just expose the wires enough for you to hook up power to it. But for the Impala, for these Impalas, it's going to be this tan with the white line. So you find the tan with the white line, you can see where the wiring harness is going to. And I just had to cycle the black wires through my negative battery. So I just set up the tan with the white line to my B positive, and I just cycled the black ones until I found the correct ground that leads to that hood latch release. You can, if you listen, you can hear it. So not every black one will grant you those results, so you just cycle whichever one until your hood latch releases. Now let me show you guys how I found out that those were the wires that I needed, so you don't end up like I did with these crazy experiments and I cut all these wires a million ways. I figured out afterward, I'm like, wow, I'm being dumb. There's an easier way to do this. Let me show you how that is. So of course, being at the junkyard, there's plenty of other like vehicles. Find one with the hood that is already open. Trunk that is already open. Sorry about that. So this is a different Impala. The one I'm demonstrating to you is down there with the shopping cart. Now, so this is a different Impala that somebody else tore apart. So I come over here and just follow your hood latch, follow the harness to a place where you can reveal the wires that go back there. And you can see there's two grounds, which are generally the black. And then these two, there's a yellow, or I'm sorry, it's like it's that brown with the white stripe. It's just a little discolored. And then there's this orange with the black stripe. So I just followed the harness to where it goes. Let me see, there we go. Sorry, the sun kind of blotted some of that out. So I just followed the harness, and I'm like, okay, cool. So this goes to the top area of the passenger side. Now, for those of you wondering why I didn't just cut in here, remember, this is all closed and you're not going to have access to the hood. Why do I keep saying hood? The trunk. So once I followed it on a different car, followed it to the top passenger area, you can see all these harnesses that come down. And then for most vehicles, you have to just remove some plastic trim. Let me show you an example. This is a completely separate vehicle, but here's an example of what I mean. Underneath a lot of these is usually wiring. And you just have to remove it to expose the wires underneath. So you just find your matching wire on whichever vehicle you're working on, and this is a different one. And again, you just follow the same procedure. Find your latch. This one was even easier because there was only 2 wires. I followed it down and hook up your power to the 2 matching wires, and voila, your hood latch will open. Let me demonstrate one more time. Trunk latch, not hood latch. I don't know why I keep saying hood. So here I'm going to show it just a little bit closer on a different vehicle, just so you can see that this does indeed work. And since this is another Chevy, they do have a lot of the same wiring, color, schematics that they use. So here, this one had 3 black ones coming out of it. So I just cycled through the, that was the first one. But anyways, you won't get every single one of them to react the way you want. See, that's not doing anything. That's not doing anything. And this last one, and you can hear it. You can hear the clunk. And that's the sound of your trunk opening, by the way. So once you identified 2 wires, follow it back. You know where to remove that plastic trim. You know what 2 wires to expose. What's probably going to be a few of the black ones, so you might end up exposing more than 1 or 2. Apply your 12 volt. If you're going to do the 20 volt, let me show you that. You just got to do it really, really fast because it's more power than you need, but it will get the job done. You just got to do it in a short spurt. You can't just hold it. Like I said, if you don't have these power tool batteries with you, that's fine. Go to the front of the junkyard. Most junkyards offer batteries, and they're all 12 volts because they're mostly for vehicles. And you should be able to pop open the trunk of whatever car you're working on. If there is a car that you would like to see this example on, please leave it in the comments below, and I will do my best to crack the code for you and post that video so you can gain access to the trunk of whatever car you need without having to get dirty or rip out the seats or anything like that, like I've seen in some of these. Actually, that's a good reason why some of these seats are out on the ground, is because they wanted access to the trunk and they did not have this wire trick. Hope you enjoyed it. Stay safe. Hope you enjoyed the content. Do not forget to like and subscribe for more videos just like this one. If there were any tips, tricks of the trade that you would like to share, please leave them in the comments below so you can help any other technicians, DIYers. As always, please stay safe. Have a great one, everybody.